Happy Children's Day to you, Nigerian children. I suppose you may not be happy today, but I do hope you will be happy tomorrow. And I really wish I could promise you a happy tomorrow. Maybe that's why it took me a long time today to wish you Happy Children's Day. And I'm really sorry about that. I couldn't help it, especially when I thought about some current trends, events, happenings, news that are very unpleasant and very discouraging, especially as regards you, the dear children of Nigeria. Only some 2 or 3 days ago, I stumbled across the shocking news of a 2-year-old child among those that were killed by terrorist herdsmen, by bandits in Naondona settlement of Gwe West. Yeah, sorry for the interruption from the network. So that unfortunate incident happened in Gwe West local government area of Benue State, Nigeria. And I've been finding it extremely hard to place my head around such a crazy, bizarre act. Yes, it's not the first time that has happened. It's not the first time it's happening. It may not even be the last. But every time it happens, we must question our humanity. Killing a 2-year-old child? For what crime? What is the motive? Where's the humanity? That's the saddest commentary on any nation's security. Yeah, even though all lawless and senseless killings are abhorrent, are unacceptable, that when it involves a child, that is the height of it. It's most despicable, to say the least. Then our supposed political leaders and politicians, do they really care about all of this? Don't they know what is going on? Yeah, maybe once in a while you'll see just a political actor or two that speak like they really feel the pain of our people. What about the president and his cabinet ministers, his security chiefs? What about our governor, our senators, and the rest? Are they not aware? Is this not more than enough? Too much already? No, but you wake up and see a whole lot of them cruising in our commonwealth, playing politics. Like we are not the people they are governing. Like the country belongs to them, but not to us. It's as though we are total strangers here and they will be happy to get rid of us themselves. There's something I know for a matter of fact. If ordinary Nigerian citizens are being killed this way, and the politicians don't care, it's a subtle admission that they themselves deserve to be killed the same way. Because there's no way they will wish us that and not deserve it themselves. Whatever meal they are cooking for us, they deserve to taste it. So if innocent citizens are being killed and they are acting like and nothing has gone wrong, then even the citizens at the point we start getting the message correctly. Yes, by the time Nigerian citizens wake up and re-engineer their mindset towards right thinking, positive thinking, they will get the message right. You know, politicians acting like the lives of Nigerian citizens are nothing is indirectly telling the citizens that they themselves, their lives are nothing. And so maybe that is why when these security incidents affect the low-level politicians, sometimes you hear the local government chairman of APC or PDP or the ward chairman is killed, and you see a good number of Nigerians coming there and clicking the emoji for laughter. I'm not supporting that. But then I think they're in a way expressing themselves. Indirectly, they're telling the government, you say our lives don't matter. So why do we care if you people are being killed as well? You know, unfortunately, those political leaders that are being killed are the lower level of the ladder of leadership. If it's happening up there at the top, I think they also will sit up. If the president doesn't care that the children of the ordinary citizens are dying, maybe as soon as his own children start dying, he will care. Okay? But of course, he will not imagine that his own children or his own child will die. Because they're always under the illusion that security is 100% theirs. But you never can tell. In a country where you make the citizens to believe that you really want them dead, you are the only person or the only people that deserve to be alive, prepare for anything, even as concerns your family. Your wife doesn't care if women like her are being killed. Your son doesn't care if children like him are being killed. So who knows what will happen next? Even God Almighty, if we all believe him, I think he will allow whatever will happen against those who are supposed to be our leaders. Because for God's sake, these are human beings that have committed no crime. They are being killed simply because they are citizens of this country. And you swore an oath to always defend and to always guarantee their security of life and property. Even if they didn't vote you, but you force yourself to be there, you are bound by that oath. In fact, you are more under obligation for forcing yourself to be there. So if you are not doing the job, there is no excuse at all. So there's a whole lot I could say on that. But for tonight, I will just make these key points. And I hope it gets registered on us. Security is a collective goal and responsibility. Security is a collective goal and responsibility. Now, most Nigerians are discussing security today, getting it all wrong. And that's part of the security problem. It has to start with how we think and discuss too. So if we're not even understanding the concept of security, and if we're not applying it correctly, it's already a problem in itself. Some people discuss security like it doesn't concern government. Then some people discuss security like it concerns government alone. Both are at the extreme ends of the discussion. I would rather not go there. The government, of course, is supposed to be the chief driver of security. And whoever is the head of government is supposed to act as such. Supposed to act as the chief driver of security in Nigeria, in the states, in the local government areas. So like I have already said clearly now, the government is the chief driver of security. That is the primary and chief responsibility of any legitimate government. For a government that is not giving us security is not supposed to be there. By whatever means that we can get them away, they are supposed to go away. Any government that will not guarantee the security of citizens is illegitimate. It has lost its right to exist. Because security is the primary and chief responsibility of any government. We should see people being sacked. You understand? We should see people being sacked at the national, state, local level, in the security sector, even other related sectors. We're supposed to see people being sacked right now, especially when you hear that a 2-year-old child is killed for nothing, and in broad daylight. We're supposed to see people in top positions resigning. We're supposed to see them resigning, and if they're not resigning, the citizens are supposed to rise up and say enough. Those people should leave us alone. We should take our own affairs into our own hands. We should choose our legitimate leaders who will protect us, who will provide basic security of life and property. So that's the point. Security is the primary and chief responsibility of any legitimate and responsible government. No excuses are supposed to be entertained. Any useless politicians coming up with excuses for any president, governor, or any of those security chiefs, the person is supposed to pay dearly, even if it means being executed, because that is part of the crime. When you defend the indefensible, people are being killed, people are dying recklessly, and it's enough for you to defend. You are not a human being. You are worse than any beast in the wild. And however a beast is treated, you deserve to be treated that way. So even the way we discuss politics, we can become corporates. If you are coming out there to discuss politics and you are not placing responsibility squarely where it belongs, you are afraid to say that the government is responsible for security, you are a beast, a very terrible one at that, and you don't deserve to exist. So that's just the truth. The truth remains that any legitimate and responsible government is the chief driver of security. And if they cannot guarantee security, If it takes even more than a day, they are not able to guarantee the security of citizens. They are not supposed to be there. That is why a president or governor who cannot sack anybody, who cannot call any of their subordinates in terms of security to account, they deserve to go. None of them deserve to be petted. Even if you think they have performed to any reasonable extent, they are performing with your resources. So don't be stupid enough to think that they're even doing you a favor for any little good they are doing for you. Security is your right. It's my right. And any government that will toy with it, make it a political commodity to play around with, or a political toy to toy with, such a government does not deserve to exist. So we should get that right and start acting as such. Because we're already setting precedents. I know some of the people that this insecurity is happening in their area today, they must have been doing some of this nonsense. When you talk about security, they talk as if it doesn't concern them. Now, it is happening right at their own doors. And who will be next could be you. Could be you. Could be someone close to you. No? So, related to that, aside government, there are other people. In fact, everyone is involved as far as security is concerned. Government only takes the lead, and that is very significant. If government abdicates responsibility, government should be held squarely. But that doesn't mean that we should leave the business of security to government alone. That is unintelligent. That is stupid. If you will abandon the role of security entirely to government. If I said it here some time ago, the last time I was here live, some people, especially the Gen Z, some of them, because of the way government has malfunctioned, there is so much hunger and poverty, they don't know the importance of history. If you had good knowledge of history, you also understand a lot about security. You know that it's not only government that plays a part in security, although they play a central role. Okay, who else play a part in security? The security agencies are there. All of them. All of them. And if they are not performing, we should hear things like resignation. We should hear things like sack. We should hear things like redeployment happening in those immediate strategic locations and their places of work. Yes, anywhere that you have responsible governments that are accountable to the people, that really care about the people, those are the kind of actions you keep seeing and hearing. So security is not just a name. You don't just collect money and go and sit down and sleep. That is nonsense. You are a thief. You are a criminal if you are budgeting for security and people keep dying. No resource to show for it. Understand? So at least to show that you are not a criminal or you are not culpable, let's see people that are supposed to be sacked being sacked. Let's see some DPOs being sacked. Let's see some battalion officer commanding, whatever you call them. Let's see them being sacked or being redeployed. Whatever may be the case. Because there's no excuse. All the huge amounts of money that are being voted for security. If you collect that money and do nothing, don't even collect it. Because the blood of people will still be on your hand. It will still be on your head. Why are you collecting such huge amount of money and you cannot justify it? You cannot show any resource for it. That is nonsense. That's criminal. So if you are a president, you are a governor, anywhere there's any, in fact, if it's a single person that is killed, someone must answer. Someone must answer, and the answer must be convincing. The public must also know what was the answer to the question, or what was the question in the first place. So security agencies, they are the professionals. It is their job. But then they cannot do it without government watching over them and also controlling them. So that is just the link there. Government must take charge, make sure that the security agencies are doing it. And if the security agencies are not performing up to expectation, there should be consequences. There should be questions and answers. There should be sack, resignation, redeployment, all of that. Aside security agencies, the local vigilante, and those of us that have a little knowledge of history, sometimes in this country, it sounds like a drama, right? But sometimes the security agencies themselves will be in trouble, and you hear that it is the local vigilante that went and rescued them. Yes, those of you who have some knowledge of history can agree with me. And that's why I say history should still be taught in schools. Because some people without history will obviously be stupid. A whole lot of problems that already have solutions, they will have no clue about them. Okay? We have had situations where local vigilantes combed the bushes, combed the forest, went mountains, seas, and everywhere and rescued policemen, sometimes soldiers, sometimes civil defense. So local vigilantes. And this is where state governors in particular have no excuse. You don't control soldiers, you don't control police. Why not form your own vigilante? Oh, you want to make excuses. There have been governors like you in that position. One man in Anambra State, Mbadineju, if he did not achieve any other thing, forming Bakassi boys is something that the people of Anambra State will never forget him for. Because that worked magic. It worked like magic. The moment those Bakassi boys were formed, they swung into action, fully equipped in whatever way they needed to be equipped. They went into action. And before you know it, kidnappers, armed robbers, criminals, all those people started running away from Anambra State. So as a governor, you have no excuse. You say you have security, but you don't have control of police, army, and all of that. Why not form a local vigilante? The law of history is there. The precedent of history is there. So don't fool anyone. Don't try to fool around before well-discerning individuals and the awakening public. Try to take responsibility for once. Let's see you do something that makes sense and also produce results. Instead of just talking one thing today, talking another thing tomorrow, and at the end, nobody even knows exactly what you are talking about. Aside local vigilantes, you have hunters. Yes. And some of these things are things in our contemporary history. So, except you are an enemy of history, there's no way you will not be conversant with what I'm talking about here. We have had situations where hunters, in fact, the last one was what brought up what sounded like a national uproar. Hunters caught a group of northerners with arms. And those group of northerners could not explain. So they went ahead and executed them, which wasn't exactly correct. Yes, those people too did not follow the laws. They did breed a lot of suspicion and all of that. But just killing them and without evidence that they have killed anybody, that wasn't right. it still isn't right and will never be right. Okay? And that is why we don't even, or rather, I don't even indulge any security actors acting without the watch and control of the government. Can be at the federal, state, or local government level. Okay, especially where you have the traditional institutions involved, then the local governments can be involved as well and be accountable to some extent for whatever is the security structure or network there, you know. But in essence, what I'm saying, hunters are very reliable partners and they have proven to be better than even professional security agencies in some cases. Likewise, the local vigilante. Sometimes the local vigilante do better than the professional security agencies. And these are options all state governors have. The soldiers, the police are not giving you what you want. What about the local vigilante? What about the hunters? Bring them in. And whoever is ready to help defend the territory in the state, help curb all this crime and terrorism and banditry and all of that, bring the person into that security apparatus. And then with proper training, we will make headway. So all these people are involved, individuals are involved in security, including you and me. And especially the rural dwellers. They are more exposed when you talk of insecurity in Nigeria. You know? And that is why most times it is said, keep alert, stay alert. If you don't understand movements of some people around, report. Most times it is just individuals like you and me that do that. Once they notice any suspicious movement, they don't understand, they report to the relevant security agencies. And most times it happens to be a serious case, you know. And now that we are talking about children, regrettably we must involve children too. Begin to give them good orientation about security. And, you know, there will be so much fear in the minds and hearts of many children. That fear is not healthy. So in place of fear, make them watchful and alert. Make them understand there are good and bad people everywhere. You can meet one good person, now meet a bad person the next time. And this is how they should recognize such people. Make them understand how they should relate even with good people. There should be boundaries, even when they are dealing with people they think are good. Because you never can tell exactly or completely, okay? So children too must be involved at this point. Children too must be involved at this point. And that is why this topic is most appropriate. We say security is a collective goal and responsibility. And so I'll round up by saying this. It's a point I always make even in my casual conversations with fellow citizens of media. Security exists and is operated at 4 levels. As far as I can tell, 4 basic levels. International level, national level, state level, and local government level. At the international level, we're supposed to have the United Nations. And this is why we Nigerians must start asking that body a lot of serious questions. Are they supposed to meet only when they hear that there's genocide in Gaza, there is Russian invasion in Ukraine? Doesn't the lives of Africans and other people in the world matter? Or when the United Nations come together, we don't always hear these things being said. The last I heard something that sounded a bit impressive was from the UN Secretary General, and that was his goodwill message the last Christmas, acknowledging how Christians are going through a lot of peculiar problems in the world. Most world leaders don't even acknowledge that, so I was quite impressed with that. But as you and me know, every discussion, actions must follow. When necessary, sanctions must follow. Where you have a Nigerian president, governors, senators, people that don't care what is happening in their country, and you can tell for sure that there is insecurity in that country, place them on all manner of sanctions. Stop giving them red carpet reception and all manner of honors. You even invite them at your UN General Assembly, they go there and spew rubbish, and even we, the citizens, are not interested in listening to what they went there to say. So, are you not making caricature of yourself as well? A time will come when even those bodies will not be welcome in Nigeria. And I mean it. Because people don't feel your presence, they don't know your what. They can't tell what exactly is your impact and importance in their own geopolitical space. So that should be a wake-up call to the United Nations too. We should start pushing that narrative. Let them also get to hear it and revisit the matter. Where exactly do they stand? Are they just for Palestinians? Are they just for Ukrainians? What about Africans? You have international media. You have human rights groups like the Amnesty. Sometimes they come to Nigeria here and report about Boko Haram, Borno State. Yes, the problem there is serious, but that is just an isolated security case you are dealing with. We have multiple security cases going on in Nigeria daily. Some are even more intense than that Boko Haram. We are talking here of terrorist herdsmen that daily are terrorizing rural farmers, rural dwellers, citizens. Even in their homes, they will go and kill you. On your farm, you are not safe. Many internally displaced people in their own country. Are you not aware of all of that? Whenever you see them bring any security incident in the news, Boko Haram, and the focus is just Borno State. But look at what is happening in Benue, in Plateau, all over Southeast Nigeria. And this seems to have one common trend. Christians-dominated territory. When we talk of Benue, we talk of Plateau, talk of Taraba, talk of Southeast. That is the one common factor. Are they not really seeing that? Or do we now interpret it to mean that they also are against Christians? Are they being biased? Do they have some hidden agenda they don't want us, the citizens of Nigeria, to know about? These are questions we should ask and seek answers to in the international arena. We should ask the African Union. We should ask the ECOWAS. Do they still exist? Are they still aware of what is going on in Nigeria? And what actions are they taking? Have they even started any conversation about it? So at the international level, we can see the vacuum already as I'm analyzing this. You can see the vacuum. Because personally, I don't know which of the international bodies or actors is playing any serious role as concerns the security of Nigeria. Not even in terms of sanctioning the corrupt and, if I can say, culpable politicians that are on the corridors of power today. Okay, what about our neighbors, Cameroon, Niger, the rest? Is Nigeria partnering with them? Are they also cooperating? But you see, even the citizens of Nigeria, most of them don't bring this into their discussions about security, which shows you how even our approach to security, even our vision of security is empty. It's poor. The basic ingredients, the important components are missing now even our thinking of security. So we need to even rethink security and ask questions about the international arena. Because when you see from there, you also help to handle the problem there too. You know, our governor in Benue State will tell you that ECOWAS protocol is a problem. He has no control over that. That's why people are moving in. But see, this is what any typical politician will do. Most of them will talk like criminals. And you will not like to hear me say that maybe you're a criminal too. ECOWAS protocol never mandated any group of people to be lawless. Even if you are to cross a border and enter into another country, there are laws there. There are processes even for doing business. You can't go to a place you are not registered, then you start doing your business. Okay, I'm a farmer now, so I should go to Cameroon anywhere I see farmland. I'll start farming there. Or I should go to Niger anywhere I see vacant land. I should start farming, building something there. But that's what our governor in Benue State will tell us. ECOWAS protocol. And then he will stop at that. Nobody will pick up that conversation. So at the international arena, that will be hanging. ECOWAS protocol is there. But meanwhile, ECOWAS protocol does not prevent him from stopping a perceived political opponent or enemy from entering the country. That is the contradiction. But we, the citizens, are also lagging behind in this. We should rethink security along the international level. If, as our governor also said, our governor has been giving us wonderful revelations we know nothing about. You say foreigners are entering, it's not just the native Fulani people we used to know. Where are those foreigners coming from? Where are they entering? Why is no one stopping them? If you say that Niger, for instance, are not cooperating, Niger, Mali, and the rest, if you say they are not cooperating, what are you as a government doing on your own side of the border? You're not supposed to tighten your own side of border control and security. Make sure those people don't. So, that is it. That is it. Then you come to the national level. Come to the national level. The president of the country is the commander-in-chief of all the armed forces. And that includes the army, that includes police, that includes civil defense. All of those men and women in uniform that are concerned with security. So if we talk of security in the entire country, the president is not just the number one player. He's the number one suspect if things go wrong. Late Abacha, former military head of state, is quoted as saying it, that anywhere you see insurgency or incidents like that lasting for more than 24 hours, the government's hand is in it. As a political scientist, I agree 100% with that. I agree 100% with that. So the president of Nigeria has so many questions to answer. And if we don't have a National Assembly that can pick up that task to bring the president himself to answer, And that is where Nigerians are supposed to rise up. They're supposed to rise up. If you think that the National Assembly are completely useless and that the matter at hand is urgent, go talk to the president himself. If he still recognizes himself as president, of course he will answer you, because it's your right as citizens to demand answers from your president. It's our right as citizens to demand answers from him. So, if we are not satisfied with insecurity, personally I'm not satisfied, but are the majority of us sharing the same feeling, the same thoughts? That is the big question here. Because some people, even right now, they are not exactly here with us as far as this discussion is concerned. They alone know exactly the part the devil has given them to play in this security situation. You know, I'm talking of security at the national level now. So besides the president, you have the countless millions of Nigerians. Where is exactly our stand when it comes to security? What is the National Assembly doing? If all these institutions of government are not working, the citizens have got to rise up. Rise up, demand answers. Or better still, demand change of government. Things have gotten worse. You can't have it. Is there a word called worster? Things have already reached the worst stage, worst level, worst degree as far as insecurity is concerned. So what again are we waiting for? A 2-year-old child being killed is not enough for us. Children have been killed even in their womb. Here in Benue State, children have been killed in their mother's womb. So which other degree of insecurity are we looking for before we respond? Or have we approved of what the political class have already approved? That's the big question for us at the national level. If we have not approved of what the political class has approved, of the death sentence they have given all of us, then we should rise up to them and they must answer to us. So at the national level, that is it. The president should be held squarely. And if he cannot hold the security agencies to account, he's not supposed to be there. In a place where the National Assembly has people that are mentally okay, they should call the president to order. You know, and if it's obvious he cannot perform, they should show him the way out. As far as security is concerned, is that serious? It's not a joking matter, or it's not a matter to joke with. Right? There's security at the state level. So even those of you saying the state governor collects security vote, it doesn't control police, it doesn't control army, I agree with you. I've already given you options and alternatives. And history, Nigerian history is full of precedents of what governors did with security votes, how they achieve results, even in the area of security. So no governor has any excuse. No governor has any excuse. Okay? But like I said, it's not only the governor, and it's not only the government. When we talk of the political class, all of them involved, the senators, the House of Rep members. Even in our contemporary history, we know what some House of Rep members did. So House of Rep members literally held the National Assembly hostage because of insecurity in their constituencies. And because of them, because of some National Assembly members, more security deployments had to be made. Because the National Assembly were at the end result that let the president immediately when you have some retired security personnel in the National Assembly, they will bring very concrete solutions. Let the president deploy more security personnel, or let there be a security post as also placed. And but like I'm saying, it shouldn't stop at that. When the security infrastructure or network fails, there should be consequences. There should be questions and answers. There should be, sack, resignation, and all of that. So at the state level, all these actors are involved under the central leadership of the governor. No matter how good you think you are as a governor, if you cannot guarantee security, you are just not good. In fact, you are the number one suspect. For you to be comfortably there, watching people killed. Security operates at the local level too. The chairman, and especially if the governor is magnanimous, is visionary, and democratic, he wants the chairman to really act. Because some governors like to curtail the wings of chairmen. Some governors are that power drunk politically. They don't want chairmen to exercise even little powers. Those are some of the governors we're dealing with, and you know them. You can analyze it yourself. Is your own governor that type? You can analyze it yourself. The chairmen have the support of the state government. Most of them will do even better than the United Nations, and I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. Okay? Because at the end of the day, security is local. And that goes to say a lot about the security agencies too. If their hands are clean, if they mean well, they're supposed to familiarize with local government chairmen and work hand in hand with them. Okay? And even if they are not doing that, there are still options for the local government chairmen. They should explore all of those alternatives. Work with local vigilantes. If the governor stops you, let the public be aware. This is what you brought up, the governor stopped it. Okay? Maybe if you don't say it openly, the public will somehow know. Let the public be aware. Use hunters. You have registered hunters in your domain. Even fishermen, you can use them. You will be surprised the level of security information some of these people will bring you. You can employ young people. You have young graduates in your localities. So as local government chairman, what stops you? There are young graduates that they don't sit at home. It's not that they really want to commit crime. They just want to be moving and doing something. So here they are. Give them that kind of work. Let them keep combing the nooks and crannies of your local government area. They will be the ones telling you suspicious activities and movements and all of that. So that even if the government doesn't act fast, you can also come up with your own backup plans. You can even make the citizens alert. Place them on alert. Okay, not unnecessary fear-mongering, but place them on alert and let them also be sure that what the chairman was trying to communicate, there's substance to it. So at all these levels, security exists and is to be operated. And all of us are supposed to join hands and heads together and make sure that whatever is the issue of insecurity, whatever is the dimension, it is tackled. So that is where we have it today. If you have any more suggestions or ideas, the comment section is yours. Please feel free to drop send there. Let's make the conversation interactive and engaging. And let's keep the conversation going. Nigeria must get it right in the area of security. Not tomorrow, today and right now. So I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to a tomorrow where I can quickly and proudly and happily tell my children, and indeed myself, Happy Children's Day. So once again, Nigerian children, and all of you grown-up children of Nigeria too, a Happy Children's Day to you.